Funny R Slash, brought to you by parrots? Nature is crap. This guy's obviously not that impressed. I've been to a number of so-called landmarks in my time, but what the hell was this? Just an overblown sandy ditch? Really don't get the fascination. Took 2 hours to get there, should have stayed in my room and watched the DVD instead. The Long Wall of China. Too long, I didn't even bother. Okay, I built a just wall. So, why should I be impressed? Back in my days, the walls were more beautiful and they didn't have to be so tall. Come on. I didn't feel good with my leg that day, and my wife really wanted to visit the Chinese wall, and so I said, okay, let's do it. But I soon understood that it was definitely too long for me, and I got tired. I failed in front of my wife because of this wall, so I'm not going to go back there. Disappointed by the lack of zebras. I was told to check out the zebra crossing Abbey Road whilst in London, but didn't see any. Perhaps you should have come at night to see them. There were lots of people there looking for them, but didn't see a single one. I'd recommend London Zoo at Regent's Park over Abbey Road for zebras. Very steep and too high. After going up Mount Snowdon by train in Wales, I'd forgotten just how high some mountains can get. They don't come much higher than this one. Well, it looks like it went up Ben Nevis, so the highest in the UK that is. Lol. This was almost a full day's climbing, and my girlfriend was crying at one point. When we get there, to the top, there was nothing there. Mount Snowdon has a pub, restaurant and toilets at the top. Luckily we bought some sandwiches and drinks. So anyone else climbing this one, be warned, there are no facilities at the top. The climb basically went on for far too long, and the last part was particularly steep and difficult. It was also cloudy at the top, so the view was non-existent. The long walk back down was boring, and again took too long. It was a great relief to get back to our B&B in Fort William for a hot soapy bath and the joys of a flushing toilet and soft toilet rolls. This attraction is free, but I honestly couldn't imagine anyone, and I mean anyone, paying to climb this. Quite disappointed by this place. Patagonia, and especially Torres del Paine, were quite boring places. Few lakes, mountains, etc. That was okay, but nothing very special, just normal, average. Most of Switzerland is like this. Everything fenced around, few places where you can walk, where are always full of cars and buses. Lots of people everywhere, footpaths too organised, so you feel like walking in. Walking in? Hot and bothered in Central America. He said the town was next to a volcano, and we went there and there was no lava. I'm pretty sure it was just a mountain. Blimey. New York's No Zootopia. The animals at the zoo look very sad and it made our children cry. Can't they train them to smile? I would imagine that would be fairly illegal. But this guy wants to see it. Lost in Spain. The street signs weren't in English. I don't understand how anyone can get around. I really hope this wasn't for a British person, but I got a feeling. Not plain sailing. I went on the cruise around the Mediterranean Sea, and the sea was so loud outside I couldn't get any sleep. I think it should be explained in the brochure that the local store does not sell proper biscuits like custard creams or ginger nuts. It's lazy of the local shopkeepers to close in the afternoons. I often needed to buy things during siesta time. This should be banned. On my holiday in Goa in India, I was disgusted to find that almost every restaurant served curry. I don't like spicy food at all. Went to India. We booked an excursion to a water park, but no one told us we would have to bring our swimming costumes and towels. A tourist at a top African game lodge overlooking a waterhole who spotted a visibly aroused elephant complained that the sight of his rampant beast ruined his honeymoon by making him feel inadequate. A woman threatened to call the police after claiming that she'd been locked in by staff, when in fact she had mistaken the Do Not Disturb sign on the back of the door as a warning to remain in the room. The beach was too sandy. That's a classic. We found the sand was not like the sand in the brochure. Your brochure shows the sand as yellow, but it was white. I guessed that a Novotel in Australia complained his soup was too thick and strong. He was inadvertently slurping the gravy at the time. Topless sunbathing on the beach should be banned. The holiday was ruined as my husband spent all day looking at other women. We bought Ray-Ban sunglasses for €5 from a street trader, only to find they were fake. Real Ray-Bans for €5? Really? No one told us there would be fish in the sea. The children were startled. There was no egg slicer in the apartment. We went on holiday to Spain and had a problem with the taxi drivers, as they were all Spanish. I was forced to come here by my stepdad, Keith. He married my mum, and now he made me come here to these caves. I refused to visit, but eventually I caved in. Although I will never inform Keith of this, I fell in love with the caves whilst visiting. The smooth cave walls, the wet, dripping stalactites, stalactites. Yeah, you can drop the correct way of saying that in the comments for me. And the gentle yet brotherly demeanour of my tour guide, Abe. He is built like a chestnut oak, and the face of a Roman statue, and the compass knowledge of Jacques Cartier. I had to be pulled away from the caves. Keith tried to pry me from the railing I was called around. I love the caves. The Cave of the Mounds. Despite the fact that I witnessed a small child fall victim to a spider attack, Abe informed me that the spiders did not have enough venom for it to be lethal. When the volume of the spiders drastically increased, Abe sprinted full speed and fought off the spiders valiantly. I was taken aback. Give this man a raise. Despite the sheer quantity of 8-legged air-breathing arthropods, I will be sure to return as soon as possible. But Keith can never know. I hate... Oh, I guess he just hates. Everyone, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.